Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aisha. I am a certified trauma-informed coach and manifestation guide. If you're watching this video, you've probably already watched tons of other videos on how to manifest SP. You maybe have manifested an SP that is not giving you ideal circumstances or queen treatment or princess treatment. Or maybe you're trying to manifest an SP out of thin air and you're just not having any luck. In this video, I'm going to cover all of the mistakes that I made while manifesting SP and give you some helpful tips to make manifesting your SP easy and fun. So stay tuned. So you want to manifest SP by Valentine's Day. I know everybody wants that right now. It is such a popular topic this time of year, and that's why I'm posting this video just before the start of February. I wholeheartedly believe that if you apply the information I'm sharing in this video, you will have your SP by Valentine's Day. I have no doubt about that. However, as a disclaimer, if you don't apply what I'm teaching you, if you just watch the video and think that you're manifesting but don't actually use the information I'm giving you, you're just not going to have your SP. That applies to every video I cover and every tip, trick, or technique that I share. It works if you work it. So if you're not making the changes necessary, nothing in your circumstances will change. Keep that in mind as you watch this video and really try to soak in the information and impress your subconscious with it, and you will have your SP by Valentine's Day. I promise you that. First off, I want to say I teach manifestation from a law of attraction curriculum, and that is basically the concept that everyone is you pushed out. And everyone means your SP, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your bosses, the people at the coffee shop, or the people who pump your gas, or the people who bag your groceries. This includes strangers and acquaintances, and it also includes not just the people that are part of your 3D circumstances, but the 3D in general. Everything is unfolding from your beliefs, from your self-concept, from your subconscious understanding of the world around you. Knowing that, if you believe something to be true about yourself, if you believe something to be true about your specific person, if you believe something to be true about the world in general, you will manifest that belief. And I think now is a better time than ever to express what manifestation actually means. So if you understand the term manifestation, and I love that the French use this word for demonstration. So if you were to say demonstration in France, you would say manifestation. And that's exactly what manifestation is. It is a demonstration of our beliefs. So think about any time that you've watched a demonstration video, whether that is one of those late night infomercials where they're product testing and they're demonstrating how the product works, or whether it was, in chemistry class where you got to watch the teacher mix some chemicals up and a chemical reaction happened and they demonstrated it first and then you get to experience it on your own and play around with it. Whatever demonstration experience you've had, I want you to think about how that works. So first you see the demonstration and then you can actually make use of the product over and over and over again, or recreate that demonstration over and over again. Essentially, when we manifest, we're imagining that demonstration in our minds first. So the demonstration of that imagery, the projection of that visualization is what we experience in the 3D. And that's why there's often a delay in what we're experiencing in our circumstances versus what we're experiencing inside. So we think it first and then we see it. We feel it first inside as though it's real and it's really happening, and then we get to watch it unfold and play out before our very eyes, actually happening. Everything happens in imagination first, and then it happens in the circumstances. And this is a very crucial concept to understand, especially when manifesting SP. The second concept I want to cover is the mirror principle. And the mirror principle is very much the same as everyone is you pushed out, and it's that your concept of yourself will be mirrored by those around you. So when you look in a mirror and you've got like extra weight on your body, or your skin is looking really unhealthy or oily, or you've got acne, or if you've got hair growing in unwanted places, or there's just something unsatisfying about your physical presence when you look in the mirror, you don't just go buy a new mirror. You don't just blame the mirror when you don't like something in the reflection of that mirror. What do? Okay, when I was for many years overweight and I would look in the mirror, I would be really frustrated and unhappy, but I didn't blame the mirror. I said, I have to change something in me. And when I finally lost over 70 pounds, what changed in me is my beliefs and my choices and how I viewed myself. I literally used to say, I'm a big lady. And I even at one point said, I'm always gonna be a big lady. And I realized when I decided to change that concept of myself, that's when I started to lose weight. When I stopped identifying as that version of myself, when I stopped projecting that version into the mirror stopped reflecting that version back to me. And it's so simple. It's just that I think we forget sometimes that everything is just a mirror, and we can get caught up in our emotions and blame the circumstances. And that comes to the next topic, which is victim mindset. If you see everything negative that happens with your SP, or if you see being single as the world is against you, or like you're just unlucky, or you deserve poor treatment, or you're not worthy of good treatment, or whatever the world around you is showing you, and you get caught in that feeling of weakness, that feeling of powerlessness, that feeling of low self-worth and low confidence and like not enoughness, you can't manifest a positive experience with a special person or a significant person if you don't change what's within you. And this is where most people struggle when it comes to manifesting SP, is they want it, but they don't feel worthy of it. They want that dream relationship, but something in their subconscious beliefs is telling them they can't have it. Sometimes what happens also is because of our tumultuous relationships we had with our caretakers in childhood, or traumatic experiences we have in adulthood, we now are living with the assumption that it's not safe to have a relationship, that it's not safe to be vulnerable with people, that it's not safe to receive love. And those come from rejection and abandonment fears that then play out in our 3D circumstances. And I've made some of those mistakes before too. Before I rose in consciousness and before I understood manifestation on a deeper level, I just thought I was unlucky. I thought that maybe this life was just punishment for something I did in a past life, or maybe I was just one of those people that had to have a hard life to have a better life later. I believed a lot of really limiting beliefs back then. And when I started to understand manifestation, and I started to understand why God gave us free will and what that actually means, I woke up. I ascended beyond that level of consciousness, and I started to make changes that manifested so many positive experiences in my life. So now that we've covered those 3 concepts, we're going to talk about how you actually reform your limiting beliefs for manifesting in a specific person. The chosen ones choose themselves. So the people who have the most success, the most wealth, the best health, the happiest lives, the healthiest relationships, they chose themselves. They chose to elevate their self-concept. They chose to be the most confident version of themselves. They chose to raise their consciousness to a level that says, I am the operant power. I get to decide my reality. I get to decide my worth and value, and nobody is going to knock me off that. Like, nobody is going to change my mind about that. And a lot of times what can happen is if you're coming from a mindset or an environment that made you feel like you had to be small, it can feel kind of scary. It can feel a little bit selfish at times to start prioritizing yourself. It can feel even narcissistic to tell yourself that you're the greatest, that you're the most amazing person. Like, I've experienced that. And where that's coming from is we don't want to be like the people who hurt us. And we don't want to be viewed as selfish for the sake of being connected to our tribe, connected to our friends and family. A lot of times we're trying to keep the status quo because that feels safest to our nervous system. That's what feels and makes the most sense to our subconscious mind. And let me just speak on that really quick. If you are so worried that being confident is going to make you look like a bad person, you're a really good person inside. Because real narcissists don't care how they look to other people in terms of, like, if they look selfish. Like, they will just fight against you and be their narcissistic selves. I promise you that choosing to prioritize your needs and taking care of yourself and feeling confident and worthy of love is not going to make you a narcissist, and it doesn't make you selfish, because if you don't love you, who else is going to do it? If you don't take care of you, who else is going to do it? If you don't put yourself number one, nobody in the world is going to put you number one, because they can't. Everybody has to be their own number one. So please don't feel selfish in doing that. Once you have established an understanding of your limiting beliefs, an understanding of your childhood wounding, understanding of the beliefs that you have about relationships, or the specific beliefs you have about your person, your partner, if you're already experiencing a relationship with them, you have to choose to change them. And this is where consistency and persistence and discipline comes in. If you don't continuously choose to reject the old thoughts and step into that new version of self, nothing in your relationship is going to change. And this is the most tricky part for people. A lot of times, yes, we can have the blindfold on when it comes to our faults and our failures and our limiting beliefs, but once that blindfold is taken off, we can be quite aware of what's blocking us right in front of us and still not do anything about it, because we're getting pulled back into that victim mindset, that victim mentality. And what a victim mentality means is I'm powerless to change my world. I am powerless to do anything to elevate my circumstances. I'm being hurt by people because of them. It's all their fault. It takes accountability away from the self and takes you out of your power. And I know that this is a very delicate subject for a lot of people. Of course, like, I don't excuse abuse or violence of any kind. However, as someone who has experienced certain situations where I really was, by definition, a victim, I chose to shift my mindset from victimhood to being a survivor. I'm not a victim of those circumstances anymore because I'm not in those circumstances anymore. I'm not being hurt. I'm not being abused. I'm not being violated. I'm not being harmed. I'm not experiencing those things anymore. So now I've become a survivor, and there's a level of confidence in that. That's more empowering to me to say, yeah, some really bad stuff happened to me in my life, but I'm not a victim of that. It happened, it's over, I'm over it. I processed the emotions, I did the inner work to change my beliefs, I healed myself from those wounds, and now I'm choosing better. I'm choosing to be the best version of myself because I know that if I'm the best version of myself, that's not going to happen to me again. If I'm the most confident version of myself, even if something happened to me, it's not going to make me fall. It's not going to make me waver. It's not going to make me feel like I'm a failure. It's not going to make me feel like it's my fault. It's not going to put me back in that victim state, no matter what happens to me at this time in my life. I'm going to choose to be that operant power. I'm going to choose to stand in my I amness my God state, my manifestation realm, where I'm the one who's writing the script for the movie. This is my movie. I get to decide. And you do too. You are the number one in your world. So you get to choose what treatment you tolerate. You get to choose what circumstances you stay in or what circumstances you walk away from. You get to choose the people you are surrounded by, and you get to choose the environment that you're planting yourself in. And I know when you're in those difficult environments, it doesn't really feel like you have the power, but you do. You always have the power. You are 100% responsible for everything you're experiencing in your life. And it's only when you're ready to take on that responsibility that you become a conscious manifester, that you start manifesting intentionally. So if you want SP, right, we have to recognize everyone is you pushed out. That means if you believe that you're not worthy of love, your SP has to treat you as though you're not worthy of love. If you believe that you are not of value, your circumstances, the mirror around you, has to show you low value experiences to match that, to mirror that belief. If you are stuck in victim mindset and feeling powerless or giving away your power and not taking accountability, your circumstances will create more situations for you where you are a victim, and you will continue to re-expose yourself to those feelings and those experiences. And until you accept those concepts as truth, you're not going to manifest your SP, you're not going to manifest a healthy body, you're not going to manifest wealth in your life. You won't improve at all until you face the facts. And I know while you're going through it, it can be painful, but you are capable of overcoming everything. You are the one in charge. You get to decide. So you just have to step into that. Step into the woman who has it all. Decide now, decide today that you get to have your SP because you're worthy of your SP. You get to have the most amazing relationship because you are worthy of having amazing relationships, and you are worthy of being treated well. You get to decide that you're not going to put up with hot and cold behavior. You will not tolerate cheating. You will not tolerate any verbal abuse or physical abuse or anything negative. You won't tolerate it. You just won't. You can do better than that. You're worth more than that. And once you truly decide that inside deeply and repeat over and over and over again thoughts and emotions and visualizations and meditations and all of the techniques that work best for you, repetition, consistency, if you keep putting in that good, the good will reflect around you. And sometimes we overcomplicate it, but it's really that simple. Now, in the beginning of this video, I did touch on if you don't make the changes, nothing will change. And if you don't apply this information, you're not going to have your SP by Valentine's Day or by the end of the month or ever, really. If you don't change, nothing changes. So how do you change? How do you upgrade your self-concept? Well, you ask yourself, what would the confident version of me do? Right? So if you're used to sitting like this and kind of like being awkward or like being like an outsider or just like feeling low, or you just like, you don't dress how you want to dress, or you're always trying to hide your body, those are all behaviors that your most confident self won't do. So put on some clothes that fit you well, get comfortable, beautify yourself, do some self-care, feel good. And once you're in that good feeling state, once you start looking at yourself in the mirror and going, hey, I actually don't look too bad. I actually look kind of cute today. Oh, actually, I look really pretty today. Dang, I'm looking really gorgeous today. Whatever level you're on, like, just reach as high as you can reach for that moment. Do the best you can in that moment. Feel the best about yourself as you can, whatever stage you're in, until you can get to the next level. And like when I was overweight, I didn't enjoy the way my body looked, and I didn't enjoy the way I felt living in my body. I didn't like the symptoms that were coming from being overweight. And yet, I chose to look at myself in the mirror and tell myself that I was gorgeous, that I was worthy, that I was lovable at any weight, at any size, however my body looked, however I was feeling. I chose to see the value in me beyond the flesh. And I also chose, when I manifested my current SP, when I saw hot and cold behaviors, I chose to accept my accountability for that and say, okay, I'm noticing when I'm starting to feel really low about myself and my self-esteem's kind of low and I'm not feeling super joyful and I'm not feeling super happy, the circumstances reflect that. But conversely, if I'm feeling really joyful and I'm feeling really excited and I'm feeling really good about myself and I feel pretty and I feel funny and I feel smart, my SP also reflects those things. So why don't I just do less of the pity parties and negative self-talk and spiraling thoughts and anxiety, and more of the dance parties and celebrating myself and enjoying my body and having positive experiences so that I can manifest more of what I want. Manifestation is very simple. Do less of what you don't want and do more of what you do want. And that's how you manifest your SP. You take accountability for who you are, your beliefs. You accept that things you learned in childhood are just replaying for you. And what that's doing is saying, hey, I need attention. This part of me is hurting and I need you to fix it. I need you to address the situation so we can get over it, so we can work through this and have a better experience. When we're feeling triggered, that's the whole point of being triggered. It's not to harm you. Your subconscious is not trying to like poke at your wound like, hey, let me hurt you more. It's like, hey, we have this open wound that's bleeding. Maybe it's a good idea to get stitches. Maybe it's a good idea to give this area attention so it can heal properly, so it can be supported in healing, so we can not feel this pain anymore. And when we really apply these things, it is amazing how quickly we will see our SPs change. It is amazing how quickly SP will come into our lives. It is amazing how powerful we are as manifestors when we choose to claim our power, to step into that best version of self, to be confident, and to consciously create our realities. I intend that this video was helpful, and I intend that you do your homework and actually apply some of these tips and concepts so that you can have your SP by Valentine's Day, or even sooner. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment with any questions, or subscribe to the channel for more. And if you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified when I post. I am going to be doing more SP videos, so if this was helpful, please subscribe and stay tuned for more. I will go into more detail and share more tips and tricks as I go along on my SP journey and hit different SP milestones so that I can share them with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck. Happy manifesting. Deliver some tips and tricks that will help making manifest. And deliver some tips and tricks. Oh. Maybe if I have a sip of my coffee first, and I can get my brain on straight. Okay.